Welcome everybody to the June 5th, 2018 meeting of the Limestone County Commission and call it to order. Is there any public comment, Ms. Kay? Could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Commissioner Harrison.
Here.
All present. Commissioner Black, would you lead us in our pledge?
I will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first item, I'll ask for a motion to approve minutes from May 21st and May 30th, 2018. Do I hear such motion?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Turner. I have a second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
My motion carries unanimously. Our next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $2,112,783.58. Do I hear such a motion?
I make the motion.
Second.
You have a motion by Mr. Black and a second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Do any of y'all have a conflict of interest on anything to be voted on the rest of the agenda?
Well, I am on the TARCOG board, so I just want y'all to know that coming up number 3.
All righty. Next item, resolutions order. I'll ask for a motion to approve a resolution to meet with elected officials and department heads prior to the fiscal year 2019 budget hearings to discuss ways to cut $600,000 from the general fund to appropriate to roads. Do I hear such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second? I'll ask again, do I hear a second? Motion failed to receive a second. Moving on under contracts, agreements, and grants, I'll ask for a motion to approve agreement with Morrell Engineering Incorporated for construction, engineering, and inspection services for, y'all can see the project. Basically to add lines on East Limestone Road from McLemore Circle to East Limestone School. Do I hear such a motion?
I make the motion.
A motion by Mr. Turner. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Black. Any discussion?
Yeah, if I could, I'd ask the engineering guys to give me an update on what they know about this project.
The property has all been, the right-of-way has all been taken care of now. Am I correct on that? Okay. And they are moving, we're submitting some final documents today to Morrell to submit to the state. I do not know, I'm sorry, I do not recall the proposed letting date right now.
But it should be pretty soon.
It should be pretty soon.
This would be office engineers.
Yeah, office engineers.
This is the final submittal prior to that.
So are you thinking we might see some work before the end of the year?
For the calendar year?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. It would be nice if all this was done while school was out. But
It sure would.
it's not going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, at least it's moved this far because we was held up for a long time on the right-of-way agreements.
All right. If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, I'll ask for a motion to approve leases for the Sheriff's Department for an annual rent of $1 each for two 2018 Ford Explorers. Do I hear such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next, I'll ask for a motion to suspend the rules of order to add a TARCOG contract. Do I hear such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries unanimously. Now I'll ask for a motion to approve TARCOG State Health Insurance Program contract for $5,000 to be used for staff time and other support in order to facilitate the SHIP program. Do I hear such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion?
Mr. Macklin, is there any need in me abstaining from this vote by being a board member at TARCOG?
Well, I don't think I've seen the contract unless it's something,
Just abstain.
so it's kind of, I guess what I'm saying is the first
Just-
I'm hearing of it.
Something to do every year.
I mean, as far as, in the moment, you haven't spoken to it, if you want to abstain out of an abundance of caution, that'll be fine. If you move forward otherwise, then I'll be glad to, look into that further, and advise accordingly. I mean, it's not a, personal gain for yourself. You're talking about, nonprofit-based entities, but, nonetheless, I can look into that further and advise accordingly. But if you want to abstain today out of an abundance of caution, that may be the best course.
Thank you.
If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Hill, Commissioner Turner,
On the attorney's advice, I will abstain.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carries 3-0. There are no budget revisions, no emergency purchases. On board appointments, I'll ask for a motion to reappoint the following to the E911 Board with terms ending in June 8, 2022. Henry Pollock, Jeff Hodges, and Jerry Adams. Do I hear such a motion?
So moved. Second.
I think everybody made the motion, but Jeff.
I didn't.
I said
I
for
did.
Jason.
Yeah.
So, whichever one you heard is fine with me. And I think.
It was us two.
Okay, I thought Ben did too.
That's all right. That's fine.
Well, why don't we make the motion the other second? I thought I heard Ben make it too. It was all in one.
It doesn't matter.
Unison. So, any discussion? There's no discussion. We'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Motion carried unanimously. There are no bids to be awarded. That's the first time I ever had three. I'll say it at one time. No personnel action. That time that I know I show up for twice a month. And I know Paige and Brandon from 911 here, our esteemed legal counsel. Engineers report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have two subdivisions this morning. They're both minors. This will be preliminary and final. Would you like to take both of them at one time? That work for
Unless
y'all?
there's objection from one of the commissioners.
Okay.
They're both.
All right, the first one is North Wells Road subdivision. Like I said, it's minor, preliminary, and final approval is what we're asking for today. It's 2 lots in District 1. It's about approximately 300 feet south of Shipley Hollow Road, or the intersection of Shipley Hollow Road and North Wells Road. And then the second one, that's just taking one piece of property, dividing in 2 is all it is there. The second one is Torrey Senior Subdivision. This is a replat of lots 1 and 2. Like I said, also a minor. This will be preliminary and final that we're requesting, consisting of 2 lots. This is in District 4, located at the intersection of Tucker Lane and Pamela Drive. What's happening is he's actually purchasing a small portion off another lot is all it is, and merging the 2. So anyway, we recommend those for approval.
Thank you, sir. Do I hear a motion to approve the following subdivisions as described by our esteemed county engineer, Mr. Bryant Moss?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hill. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Harrison. Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to other business. I'll ask for a motion to approve the Limestone County Commission data breach policy.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Black. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Harrison. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, I'll ask for a motion to remove the following equipment from inventory: an EMC NX4 from IT department, and an Optima DLP projector from the EMA. Do I hear such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Turner and a second by Mr. Black. Any discussion? There's no discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner,
Aye.
Commissioner Black.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Harrison.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. There are no scheduled public hearings. We'll move to the report of the officers. Commissioner Hill.
Yes, sir, it's good to be here this morning. We're continuing to chip seal Willis Springs today. Be real cautious if you're out in that area. We're doing the regular routine maintenance, patching, and we do bury people and do dig bury animals. It's kind of for those that don't know that in the community. But just be safe as you see our guys out working. The bid is, they're supposed to open up the Harvest Road project, I think, the state is. So maybe it won't be too long. We'll start asphalting Harvest Road. And thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Commissioner Turner.
Yeah, this morning we spent the morning repairing a spot on East Limestone Road where the gas company bored under, and I reckon it formed a cavity under there and the road started sinking in. The rest of the day we got a few more spots where we're waiting on the engineering guys to come out and pave that we'll be touching up and making sure they're as smooth as possible until they can get repaved. And after lunch we'll be doing trimming and bushwhacking, just random places across the district where limbs may be hanging over the road or hitting vehicles as they pass.
Thank you. Commissioner Black.
We've been cleaning out quite a few ditches from the rains last week. It came down really, really fast and washed a lot of stuff into some of the drainage pipes. We've been cleaning those out and continuing to pick up lots and lots of litter around the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Harrison.
I spoke with Anthony Quattlebaum with Ergon, our supplier for emulsions, and Dan Dawkin, who's a county engineer down in St. Clair County, he's doing about 55 miles of fog seal using Ergon's emulsions. And what that does, it extends the life of an asphalt road about 2 years. But it's an economical way to extend the life. And it's like $2,000 to $3,000 a mile. And if you can extend the life of an asphalt, $100,000 a mile road for $2,000 to $3,000 for 2 years, that's a good investment. And when we were down to NCAT, we learned that Georgia Department of Transportation and also Mississippi Department of Transportation is also using it, and they've done it here. And ALDOT has done it on a limited basis. But anyway, I said that to say I'm headed down to St. Clair County within the next week. He'll be doing this starting tomorrow and on into next week if anybody wants to go in and observe that. And you can also see not only what he's putting down this year, but you can also see projects from previous years. So kind of give you an idea of what it does. So that's all I have.
All right. Thank you for coming, everybody. With that, we'll recess to 10 a.m. on Wednesday, June 13, 2018 at the Washington Street Courthouse Annex, 310 West Washington Street, Athens, Alabama. Y'all have a great week.